course, that is a Wrangler, and look who's behind the wheel of the Gladiator. Nathan!
Hey guys, how you doing?
In this video, we're going to compare Wrangler versus Gladiator.
That's right, and we're going to do it in Moab on some fairly challenging trails.
Yeah, we want to find out if this Gladiator is more than just a Wrangler with a bed.
We're about to find out.
Of course, the biggest difference between the Gladiator and the Wrangler is right here. Yep, it's got a bed. 5-foot box, good for carrying dirt bikes. And second biggest difference is right there. That is, of course, a receptor for a tow hitch. And this Gladiator, when properly equipped, will tow up to 7,500 pounds. Interestingly, the Gladiator comes with falcons. You can see them right there. And then the Wrangler comes with KO2s, as you can tell right there. Now from the front, of course, they're very similar. Let's go to the front of the Wrangler. Same LED lights, same bumper, almost identical. It'd be hard to tell them apart. You know, Nathan, from the front, I can see why people say that basically this Gladiator is a Wrangler with a bed.
Yeah, and that's because the front is frankly a Wrangler. Although, underneath, they're very different vehicles when you look at the frame.
Yeah, so this has its own chassis, and it's a truck chassis, so it's heavier, and it also, because of that, tows a lot more.
That's right, it's longer, and that also means that you have an issue with your breakover angle when you compare it to the Wrangler.
My name's Taylor Langhals. I'm the lead exterior designer for the Jeep Gladiator. The most challenging part of doing the design is staying true to the Jeep. You know, getting some of the brand heritage in it. Obviously up front you've got the large round headlights that interrupt the 7 grille slots, which is a nice tie back to the CJ series. But also keeping all the capability that we know and love with Jeep. So we kept the bedsides low for good visibility, a good reach over. It's a crew cab, obviously, a 5-foot box. We want to be able to hold a 35-inch underslung spare. All those things together really make up the silhouette that you see today.
What was the most fun part of doing it?
This is the most fun part of designing the Gladiator. Getting to be out here with you guys and off-roading with it, yeah, absolutely.
And you said you got one coming. What color?
Yeah, I've got a white Rubicon on the way. Yeah. Can't wait to get it, start putting some of my own flavor on it. We'll have a 2-inch lift and some 37s real soon.
Yeah, I think from the designer point of view, you think 37 is a sweet spot?
I think 37 is the new 35. I think it's on this truck, it's going to look great. I think for daily use, for me, I'm going to stick with 37s. I'm a big dirt bike guy, so getting my bikes in and out of the back. But yeah, I mean, you can go as wild as you want with it. It's really a blank canvas for anybody to put their own personality on.
And you said you're going to go for the convertible. Why?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in the soft top, and it's so well refined and it's so quiet. You really can't even tell that's a soft top. But you have all the accessibility of really opening it up quick. I mean, you can do it at a stoplight.
Now, Nathan, one of the cool things about both the Wrangler JL, the newest one, and the Gladiators, of course, that these bits are the same. So you've got locking front and rear diff on both of them, and you've got a disconnectable sway bar, at least on the Rubicon version of it.
That's right, and same gear levers. All of this stuff is the same.
All right, now let's play a game, Nathan. I believe that there's a Monroney in this glove box, and let's see how much this bad boy costs.
Yeah.
Because we have to guess, right? So, you know, Jeeps have gotten, well, expensive would be one word. Very expensive would be another word.
Ridiculously pricey.
And the base price right here I can see is $41,545.
That's manageable for some.
Yeah. So take a guess. How much does this Jeep cost?
Well, this has got this top, and I know this top is expensive.
Show them the top. Why don't you pop it?
Yeah, cool.
See what it does.
It's a little cold outside right now. That's why we had it closed, but I love it. It's expensive. Okay.
$4,000 option, dude.
$4,000.
Yep, $4,000.
Okay.
It is one of the features that is unavailable on the Gladiator.
I'm gonna say $51,000.
You are wrong, sir. You are very wrong. It's $58,000.
What?
Yeah, $58,000, dude. This is a $58,000 Wrangler.
You know what's crazy?
What?
This doesn't have heated seats.
For $58,000.
No, it doesn't.
So that is one difference, of course. And the other difference is what we just talked about, which is what's under the hood. You can't get the 2-liter turbo.
Right.
Only the 3.6 Pentastar. And that's a shame because I like this engine.
I like it a lot. I really do. And we talked to some experienced Jeep people, and they surmise that one of the reasons why is because of towing, and I think that might be correct.
You know, in this Jeep, I think the towing max on a JL is what, 3,500?
Yeah, 3,500 pounds.
Yeah. Whereas in the Gladiator, using the same
3.6,
you get 7,500 when properly equipped.
Well, that's the frame and that's the rear end. The rear end that they're using for the tow package, that it's beefed up. It's, you know, they're very similar, but then again, it's that frame that really makes them very different setup than it is on this.
So, are you sweating there, Nathan?
Not even a little bit. It's a piece of cake. Easy enough.
Your turn.
Oh, no worries.
No worries, man. I got 190% faith in you.
You know this guy? Can you vouch for his driving?
We'll see after. Oh, he already hit.
Just get right up next to this rock.
Nathan making liberal use of the skid plate. Yeah. That's what they're for.
You're not off-roading if you're not skidding a little, right?
All right. You know, I think we got to get in the Gladiator now and compare.
Sure.
I think that's next.
Sounds good.
Come on in, Nathan.
Yeah.
It's a little windy out there today.
It's a little bit. Yeah, with the bald head, I have no hair to grip a hat. So, in this type of weather, having a scarf helps. Oh.
So we just finished some good wheeling time behind the wheel of the JL Wrangler.
That's correct.
And now we've switched into the Gladiator.
Yeah.
The one big difference, of course, Nathan, is that there's more rear legroom in the Gladiator than there is in the Jeep. Do you know that?
Why is that?
It's got a lot longer wheelbase. And they
so they stretched it.
Yeah, and so there's more legroom in the back of the Gladiator than in the back of the Wrangler. But otherwise, they're both Rubicons.
Yeah.
So they both have basically the same buttons. So they have, you know, locking front rear diff and a disconnectable sway bar. So in terms of kind of off-road goodies, it's identical.
Yeah, and it already feels a little bit different. Now, we did have an opportunity to see what this thing could do off-road against the Bison.
Yep.
And that video proved that it was capable off-road, but in some ways, this environment is a little tiny bit more extreme in some places, a little bit more articulation, and I think the breakover angle is definitely going to come into play while we drive.
So Nathan, we got an interesting little stretch here.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to test this Gladiator. I think you need to lock your diffs.
Yep. Lock your front and rear.
I would lock front and rear and disconnect sway bar. So we have a little bit of a test of approach, breakover, departure angle. We got a little bit of a shelf. So we'll see how the Gladiator does as opposed to, of course, the JL Wrangler.
Nice and slow. You put lockers on.
Oh, that's close. That is close. Oh, this is, of course, the Gladiator going up. Let's see if the breakover angle hits.
Nice and straight.
We might have a hit here. So close.
Keep coming.
Oh.
Let me grab that control on a little bit. Now crank it this way.
Oh, there we go. There's the difference in breakover angle right there. Right there. And we're stuck.
Stay this way.
We're beached. We're beached right now.
Get up on this rock. Okay, let's back her up just a little bit. Crank this way. Back up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Great
Now
example
come
of what a longer Jeep means when you're off-roading. Of course, bigger tires would help. He's going to have to bump it up there. There he goes. Oh, that's going to get here. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. All right.
Nice.
All right. Nice. Okay, approach angle is about the same. Breakover angle should be much better on this Jeep, just because it's so much shorter. We shall see. Here we go. See if she hits. Oh, she hit a little bit. Might be blind. But yeah. Yeah.
Nice job. All right.
I think good throttle control. But I also think it's the shorter Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brown goat. Little steep area, Wrangler versus Gladiator. Let's show the difference.
I would have come up the middle.
Yeah, you're high center, dude.
Right.
You might have to go up the middle.
Whoa, whoa.
Like, tell me I'm low.
Okay, we're gonna back up and do that one again in low range with the Gladiator.
You've been shamed, dude.
I have been shamed.
I don't have a Monroney, but I do have a little card here with all the important information. 43.4 degrees of approach angle, 20.3 degrees of breakover angle, and 26 degrees of departure angle, which is the two last numbers that hurt. And of course, one thing I'm seeing here is fuel economy is very similar, 1722. And this, of course, is the Pentastar, which is a V6, 285 horsepower, 260 pound-foot of torque. Gladiator has lost its flare. So a little bit of trail damage, got a little too close to a tree, I suspect. But it looks badass on the good side. It does look good, look at that. So now you can see what they look like without the flare, and you can get a good look at the Fox shocks, which are no longer hidden by the flare. Yeah, it's going up, man. We got a two-door, weighs like 2,000 pounds. Look at that. That's the way it's done. All right, here comes our first test. We've got a very steep descent.
All right, let's see. I'm in hill descent control.
Yeah.
It's called select speed control.
Select speed control. My fault. My bad. Sorry, Jeep. Send all your complaints to FCA. No.
Now, there's something interesting going on here beyond the fact that Nathan is going down a 22 degree, right?
23,
24, okay.
It's not too bad.
Degree incline. Is this your first time behind the wheel of a Gladiator?
It is.
And
so far, so good. Good way to start when you're in a Jeep product.
now here's one of the biggest differences, right? I can show you right there. So the Rubicon in the Wrangler has these red shocks, right?
Right.
But we have Fox shocks.
Fox shocks.
We don't have blue shocks. We have Fox shocks. You know, I kind of feel like if you want a Jeep truck, you're going to get a Jeep truck, right? There's a lot of mid-size trucks now. The mid-size truck market has become very competitive, but the people who want a Jeep truck aren't going to settle for a Tacoma. They're not going to settle for a Ranger. They're certainly not going to settle for a Frontier, right? They're going to want this truck.
Well, exactly, and it's the same thing for the Tacoma guys. They're not going to screw around with any Jeep products. No, they only buy Toyotas. That's sort of, where your loyalties lie.
So Nathan, after driving this for a little bit, what's your bottom line? If it were your money, which one would you get?
There is one problem here.
Yeah.
I haven't driven the manual yet, and I'm a manual transmission freak. As the 8-speed goes, I love this 8-speed automatic transmission. It is really good. Paired to this engine, it's not enough power for this truck. That I can tell you right now. Off-road, I want more power.
Interesting. Now, for me, if I wanted to use this as a truck, then I would definitely get this because it tows more, it hauls more, it overlands better.
Oh, yeah.
So in a lot of ways, it's just a much more practical vehicle. But having said that, as an off-roader, I think the Wrangler is better.
I'm not going to disagree with that. Obviously, the numbers are better. They just play better for the Wrangler. And if you really want the best one, you get the two-door Wrangler. That one is the best off-road in terms of all of the angles.
Nathan, you look like you should be in Morocco and not here just outside of Moab, Utah.
Well, it's a similar type of terrain. We're just outside of the wind right now. It's super, super windy.
Of course, we're going to do a full set of tests with this, so we're going to take it back to Colorado, and we're going to tow with it up the I-Gauntlet, we're going to do an MPG run with it. But if you really want the truck, and you needed to do truck stuff, then go for the Gladiator. But if you want to go hardcore off-road, I'd still do the Wrangler.
I would agree with you.
Guys, as always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
Thanks for watching, and remember, we're going to have a lot more Gladiator videos, but they're going to live over a TFL truck, not over here a TFL car. We put this one on TFL car because we're comparing it to the Wrangler. And as always, Nathan, thank you for driving, and thank you guys for watching. See you next time.
See you guys.